Got an interview to react to, so let's do it. This video is brought to you by my Teespring store. Go there, click the link in the description, get all the Run It Back merchandise like this mask hanging here on my iPad. Use the code RUNMY20 for 20% off. Hit the like button on this video to help me out. Hit the dislike button if you hate my guts. I really don't care. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. I give you these episodes every single day for free. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the live streams because we have a blast in there. DJ Eastwood, what interview is it? Are you going to respond to Doug Peterson's press conference? Are you going to respond to all the stupid things Doug Peterson said yesterday? No, not responding to doofuses anymore. Okay? I'm over it. I'm only reacting to interviews with smart, intelligent people from now on. Doug Peterson is a doofus. This is the Daryl Morey interview he did yesterday with Anthony Gargano on 97.5, so let's listen to it.
Come December 22nd, the Sixers begin. And there is this new life of excitement. And one of the primary reasons for that excitement is on the line, Sixers president and GM Daryl Morey on the Comcast Business Hotline. Hey, D, how are you, Daryl?
Anthony, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, I got to tell you, have you noticed all the excitement surrounding your arrival?
I have. I think you guys are all just setting us all up for the downfall. Like you have the Eagles. Didn't the Eagles win the championship like 2 years ago or something?
2017, yeah, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. How long do you get? Don't you get a few years after you win the title?
No! The short answer is no, Darryl.
Apparently not. I feel bad for Howie. Jeez.
I know.
They just won.
Yeah, this
you get
doesn't
5
work
years.
that way.
You should get 5 years after you win the title, at least.
You think?
So, I don't know.
That's not how Philly works, my guy.
I don't know. Here's the thing. We care deeply. All right? And
I'm with you. I love it.
When you care deeply about sports, you just you want to enjoy it, right? And
I'm with you.
You want to get, and this is the thing with these Sixers, right? So you've been primed with this whole thing. People were all about the process. You know all about it. They were all in on it. And so when your arrival signifies this new breath, and I think right off the bat, your first off season, how swift it was I got to fix the spacing. And I think you accomplished it. I think, was that your first aim? Let me start with the spacing on the team.
Well, I think you don't really know what's going to be available. So I often think if you go in with we have to do X, you miss out on opportunities. But for sure, Elton and I, when we were planning, we were like, look, we know that Ben and Joel plus shooting and spacing just kills people. I mean, you don't need evidence. You just need to look at the recent past. And and so, yeah, that was a big goal. We didn't go in.
So he thinks Brett Brown is stupid.
But, if this was one path that we were hopeful could emerge, and thankfully it did.
Did you go into it thinking that, or resisting any temptation to do anything major, huge, because of a couple things? One, you want to see with your new coaching staff. You kind of want to see what you got before you do anything.
I mean, it was pretty huge. I mean, what's huge? Jeez, Anthony.
No. Believe me, it was big. I guess I was intimating. You hear all that. I don't need to be.
Yeah, we got to get rid of that noise. Ben and Joel, we're building around them. We know with shooting and spacing, they're dominant. Yeah. And, we're excited about.
We got to get rid of that noise. I just saw a new YouTube video today because Ben Simmons' sister tweeted yesterday that a big trade is going to be announced on Tuesday. Who the hell knows? I just said good things about Ben Simmons' sister the other day when I was ripping Anna Horford, by the way. She comes out and tweets that there's going to be a big trade on Tuesday. And then everybody loses their minds because it's Ben Simmons' sister. And then she replies to her own tweet saying she was joking. Everybody calm down. But now there's YouTube people putting out videos. Oh my God, there's a huge trade coming. Daryl Morey just told you again. It's the third time he said it now. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are not going anywhere. Get it through your thick skulls.
And I'm not going to be Daryl. I'm not going to BS you. So people all right away. Well, what about Harden? What about this guy? What about that guy? So you hear all that stuff, and you know that there's not a lot of It's not realistic. I
think Sam he emerged from his groundhog hole like he does once every 4 years, and he said it best. He said, "Look, fans went through the process to get these two guys. Why would people want to move off that? I know we don't. I know fans don't. All the fans I talk to love Ben and Joel.
Believe me,
both
I agree with you.
Two superstars in their mid-20s. I mean, that just never happens.
I know. I completely agree with you. So let me ask you.
There's a reason Doc's here and I'm here. Let's just be clear. And so
no. I'm with you.
There's a reason I'm here and Doc's here. I said this last week, guys. They didn't come here for no reason. They literally came here because of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I'm happy.
Let me ask you about Tobias for a second. Because I think Tobias has some extra room for his game to grow. And he plays so well with Ben. And I think that was one of his issues against Boston in the playoffs. I was just curious about your outlook with Tobias, because we don't talk a lot about Tobias as that third guy.
So here I'll just yield to Elton and Doc. So Doc's coached him. Elton obviously knows him better than me. But if you look, when he's played the role that Doc's going to have him play, or at least he's planning to have him play, sort of a mix of 4 and 3, he's been unbelievable. So I yield to them. You don't really know a player till you coach him or till you see him every day. But I would say I know Tobias has all the aspects that we need with shooting, being a big one, and then he's an all-around solid player. And we're excited for the role Doc's going to give him. So.
There's one thing that I think people are concerned about, and we'll see whether or not it can be fulfilled in-house, and that is when you really need a bucket, right? Come the end of the game to stave off a run or take that big shot, and it's a face-the-basket guy. You got you got some options, right? You got Tobias, you got a guy, I know you can't mention him, but maybe a guy like Danny Green that's hit big shots in his life. Do you ever foresee Ben with the ball in his hands in that role?
I do. I would say, look, we don't know what we have exactly. Obviously, new coach, Doc, championship, likely Hall of Fame coach, when it's all said and done for him. We're going to learn about this team. And again, I said this in my opening presser. I think teams make a mistake trying to we have certain bullets. We have tax mid-level. We've got still future draft picks. We have certain bullets that we can use, and I don't really like using them now. I just don't, because in a month we're gonna the issues we see now, like maybe the one you said is one of them. It's going to be a different set of issues in a month. I mean, a month into the season, I almost guarantee it. We're going to say, "Oh, that's not quite working," or "Yeah, end of games isn't quite working." And if we use the bullets now, like, we're going to use them on the wrong ones that, when the information is more clear as we get closer to the trade deadline and places like that. So I think, that is definitely what I like to do is sort of evaluate and then address the gaps as we get closer to the playoffs.
And that's the beauty of the deadline, because the deadline allows you that opportunity to kind of tweak and kind of get what you need, and you got a lot more maneuverability during that period anyway.
That's correct. Yeah, no, we the one nice thing about the moves is it set us up to be, less constrained in a whole bunch of ways so that we can address whatever Doc thinks is the highest need on the team.
There was actually somebody in my comments the other day that said the Al Horford trade was stupid, and we're going to find out the hard way how stupid it was, and that Al Horford is better for this team than Danny Green. I mean, this person clearly didn't watch a single fucking second of Sixers basketball last season. There's no way. And so many people comment on my videos without even listening to what I say. They just see the title.
As we get gearing up for the playoffs.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Anthony, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top rated.
We skipping commercials, bro.
Congratulations, by the way. I should have led with that, but it really was a very, very good offseason. People are thrilled and they're excited. And, I didn't want you to think that people weren't happy about it.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, I think our goal isn't to win the offseason, right? Our goal is to actually win. So, I'm watching the Eagles and I'm like, man, these guys just won the championship and they're all over them. So, I think I love big expectations. One of the many folks in Houston, went to various teams. I think.
Just gonna let you know this right off the bat, Daryl Morey. That's how Philly get used to it. If you guys win a championship in 2021, 2022, and then 2 seasons later you stink, you're gonna hear the boos from the rafters. That is if coronavirus is over by then. But it's just the way it is. We don't have to win a championship every year. That's not what we're saying. We like to be competitive every year. We like to watch a good product on the field. These people are buying tickets and jerseys. We want to see a quality product.
Six are run by.
I didn't know he was going to talk about
Houston.
the Eagles.
One of them is at a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in like 25 years. So, that's different expectations than here. I mean, here, I love that fans have high expectations. I love that we've got 2 great stars to build around. I love that we've got a great roster to work with and a Hall of Fame coach. So, I'm it's amazing. I appreciate you saying kind things about what Elton and the staff did here. And that's better than bad. But, at the end of the day, it's just about, let's prove it on the floor when the games start.
No, if I said there's only one prerequisite here, right, which is besides the winning aspect, and sometimes execs, you can't, be completely forthright. We understand. But don't treat the fans as they don't know anything, right? Like, that's always something that rubs people the wrong way. Is when you BS them. And you're a straight shooter, so...
Yeah, I'm almost too straight to shoot. I just get myself in trouble all the time. Elton's already trying to take away my Twitter account. So Elton told me you're good people, too, so he was excited I was on today. So.
He's such a great... I'm so excited to have you guys all together. And, man, this coaching staff is...
Yeah, it's real strong. Doc did such a job putting it together. Jaeger's, someone we got real close to hiring in Houston a few times. He lost out to Coach D'Antoni the last time, and Dan Burke is, one of the legends. And honestly, Doc's the first one who ever got to figured out how to pry him out of Indiana. He'd been there through 4 different coaching regimes, I think. So, we're going to build an elite defense. I know Doc's planning on that. Be a more up-tempo, get more easy buckets on offense, and, let's go. I wish the December 22nd was here tomorrow. So,
what'd you think of the draft? I love Maxey, man. Were you shocked that he was there, 21?
Well, shocked that he was there, yes. I'm not shocked that someone was there. There's always different evaluations. What'll happen sometimes? The guy like Maxey is. The group in the 6 to 12 range or whatever studied him heavily and for whatever reason chose something else, maybe team need. And then often, the teams right after haven't studied him as much, so then they get into sort of a slide situation. But in terms of what my best sense of what the Sixers needed, and talking to Doc and his evaluation of the roster, Maxey was like the perfect fit for what we needed. So we were thrilled. He was by far the highest guy when we picked, and and then we got shooting and in the second round, and I'm actually real excited about Paul Reed as well.
Yeah.
It's very rare the 58th pick hits. I mean, we've had I've had real good track record in the second round, but still the odds are very low for every team in the second round, that low especially. But look, he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder and a really good pedigree. And so, I think he's, he hasn't played a game yet. Everyone's got a chance right now.
I know.
Everything's perfect.
I know. Well, it's true. But listen, it's like Maxey, right? Because I don't think if there is no pandemic and there's a tournament, chances are maybe, you don't get Maxey, right? Because you never know what happens during the tournament. But I thought having a guy like him maybe next to Ben at some point, he grows into that role, who can handle it and gets his shot better. It's
absolutely.
It's a perfect fit.
We're confident on his shot. Obviously, we're confident he'll put the work in. We're confident that he showed last year wasn't his true level. I'd be very surprised if he's, not, at least making 1 out of 3 of those things, which is really better than pretty much, any other shot inside the arc. So, we feel good about his shot, and besides that, there's really nothing. And that's actually a big reason maybe why he fell is people just, it's like that, if something's 9.99, it looks better than, if he had made one more 3, I think it'd have been 30.2% instead of 29.7. I think that might have been 5 spots and why we were lucky. So, yeah, it's sort of dumb why certain things happen. We try to take advantage of those things.
Do you go into everything with this?
He's just a common sense guy, man. I love it.
Air of, I just need to think it out. So I got to be pragmatic. I want to think about it. I make no judgments.
Yeah, I'm extremely, pragmatic's good. Yeah, I would take that. Generally try to, just a general principle is push off decisions until you have the most info. People often make decisions too early when conditions are changing. And then pretty non-emotional on decisions, and then extremely emotional watching games, which is, Sam used to always make fun of me because I'd just be this basket case during games when I can't, because I can't control anything pretty much at that point. And so he would just make fun. Sam would be just sitting there stoic, and I'm kicking things over.
That's
and
awesome.
Walking around outside the building. I watched very few of our playoffs in Houston this year just because it was too stressful, and I'll watch them later on video. So it's a sad life I lead. Yeah. So.
You'll actually fit in. You're neurotic, so it's going to fit in perfect with us.
No, my
that's
wife's
how
from
we
New
are.
Jersey. My wife's from New Jersey, and she knows Philly well, and she honestly sees you're just like every Philly person I grew up
It's
with.
the best.
Yeah.
It's the greatest. Because you don't understand. The Sixers won in 83, right? And in 84, they got swept by the Nets in the first round. And they were down 2-0 in the series. They came back and tied it. And Julius said, mail in the stats. And I still have not recovered from that loss because they were so good that I can't believe they only won 1 title. So I'm scarred from my childhood.
Around that exact same time, I got Brian Sipe throwing an interception to lose a playoff. I'm from Cleveland, so to lose a playoff game, I remember that firsthand. I remember Biner running into the end zone, and I celebrated for a minute until I'm like, why aren't the points on the board? And no one could actually see the fumble. No one could see the fumble, including me. So that these are, I'm a tortured Cleveland fan. So we're gonna all fit along.
All right, so I can't even express my level of love for Daryl Morey and the Daryl Morey signing in general. Just after hearing him do a couple of interviews, here's my take on Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is a basketball fan, is a sports fan, just like you, just like me. He's a sports fan making common sense decisions from a fan's perspective who watches the game and really understands how it goes. I say it a lot that I think these people get into these positions and they think they're so much smarter than everybody and they want to outsmart everybody and they harp on analytics so much and they want to do this, this, and this, and everything's a computer, everything's an algorithm, everything's a equation. And it's really not people that ever played the sport or understand the sport or know really what they're talking about sometimes. And it shows. It shows when you have people like Brett Brown and the ownership group making decisions that just don't make any fucking sense at all. It shows. The whole fan base is screaming, bro, we need shooters and ball handlers. We've been saying it forever. We need spacing. What are you guys doing? Daryl Morey is a fan that was probably sitting there watching the game saying, what are these guys doing? They need spacing. They need shooting. What are you doing? So we have a sports fan in a high position who makes common sense decisions and has been successful doing so. I absolutely love it. I'm so pumped for this season. Let me know what you guys think about Daryl Morey's comments on this interview, and let me know about your level of excitement for this season also. My name is DJ Eastwood. Thanks for listening to me today. Hit the like button if you like me. Hit the dislike button if you hate my guts. I really don't care. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't miss out on the live streams. We have a blast in there. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the live streams. Peace.